Tuesday morning report, February 25th, 2025. The market is playing chicken with reality, and reality is about to win. The Fed wants to cut rates, but they can't justify it. Unemployment numbers look fine on paper, but the real world is flashing warning signs. Layoffs creeping up, auto loans defaulting, housing slowing. The numbers and the headlines don't match, which means someone is lying, and it ain't the economy. CarMax and the auto market, it's ugly. Every major dealer is drowning in 2024 and 2025 models, but banks aren't lending aggressively because interest rates are still high and default risks are climbing. Meanwhile, repos are up, meaning more people are losing cars than buying them. Floor planning is standard, sure, but when your lot looks like a car museum with no buyers, it's a problem. Housing? Another flashing red light. Less buying, less mortgage activity, and home prices still outpacing wages. That means less economic movement, and that's never a good sign. Nvidia? Buckle up. Their earnings drop Wednesday, February 26th after market close. Market makers are sitting on their hands, waiting for this report before making a move. If Nvidia crushes, we might get a short-term AI rally. If they disappoint, pullback city. AI hype is running at full steam. If Nvidia slips even a little, the market's excuse to sell off is right there. Also, side note, dropping earnings after close on a Wednesday. That's like your favorite restaurant finally bringing out hot buttery biscuits, but right after they lock the doors and tell you, come back tomorrow. Who does that? Only on Wall Street. Meanwhile, gold and silver keep creeping up. That's a quiet move that says big money doesn't trust what's coming next. If metals are catching bids, that means investors are hedging against uncertainty. They see the cracks forming, even if the headlines won't admit it. And speaking of headlines, the media is shifting the focus away from the economy. Trump is on a world tour, and suddenly inflation and job numbers aren't the big story. That's intentional. The numbers don't match. Unemployment looks good, but layoffs are happening. Wages aren't rising at the pace of cost of living, but remittances are flying out of the country. They don't want people connecting the dots, so they give you distractions instead. Oil prices are down, gas is cheap, but consumer spending isn't rising. That tells you people don't feel secure enough to splurge, even when the basics cost less. That's not confidence, that's caution. The big picture? The Fed is in a waiting game. Nvidia's report is a market tripwire, gold and silver are creeping up for a reason, and the economy is not as strong as they want you to believe. Final call? Forget what they're saying, watch what they're doing. Big money is waiting for the real cracks before they make a move. Stay sharp. Watch the metals, tech earnings, and the Fed's next excuse. The real move is coming. Let them tip their hand before you play yours.